Hi everyone, how you doing? So today we're going to do a MGZT or Rover 75 turbo diesel modified thermostat. One of these here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these in line. This will save you absolutely loads of money. These are about £16. And you get clamps and stuff to go with them, etc, etc. Instead of dropping the engine on that side, bringing it right up, taking all sorts of stuff apart on the mounts, and then taking that out and lots of other stuff to change the original one. This is what 99.9% of the people do that own these cars, and that's definitely well worth doing. And like I say, that will save you literally hundreds of pounds. So let's get around the front here. We're in a Rover 75 Connoisseur Estate facelift. It's a 2-litre diesel, like I was saying. Let's go around the front there and let's start taking it apart. Shouldn't be too bad, and I'll talk you through it as we go along, and hopefully you can do the same if you need to do it on your car and save yourself a bit of money. Right, let's do it. So I'm actually going to do this one outside today. So you want a 8mm to get this cover off. Normally pretty straightforward, they normally undo just like that. Just try not to lose them. I normally put mine just down along the front here. You can spin these ones out, pretty straightforward. You got this. Should be 3 of them, 2 at the back and 1 on the front there. And you should be able to just have a little wiggle, lift this cover off, put it to the side. Anywhere really, doesn't really matter too much. And then the next thing to do is this plastic pipe. Got to remember myself, I haven't done one of these for a while now. So we've got them 3 for what we just done. These ones, if they're not spinning underneath, which I think they are, there's always something on these. If we can get it to come apart. If not, they're being a pain and you literally just spin it. Normally you can lean on them and get them trying to do, but no, they're not having none of it. Right, we're going to have to do it a different way then. Next way is, I'm trying to think myself. We know we've got a screwdriver one head there, we lift it up in the air, but we don't want to break it, that's the thing. And the trouble is the inside of these is away from where we can get to. So actually inside the plastic piping, which makes it a real pain. But we can undo these 2. That's basically what we've got to get, is down under here. So let's see what we can do down there, shall we? So Phillips screwdriver, undo these. Right, so we can do that, but really we want that out of the way, but we don't want to snap it, so let's just be very gentle with it. The next thing we've got to do is remove this, lift it out of our way. We're going to do it this way around. It's the only way to do it, really. Really could have done with this out of the way, but normally you can put some pressure on them and get them going, but it's not having none of it, which is a real nuisance. Trying to pull on them, get a bit of pressure on them, but I can hear they're just turning inside. It's a real nuisance. So we want to get under here to this top pipe so we can get this clip off and then do it up from under there. But I'll bring you across and show you where we're trying to get to. So that pipe there directly in front of us, that's the one we want, the one with the clip on there. We want to get down in there. Got to cut that clip off, and then the kit we got will fit inside there. Right, so let's start removing this. Oh no, not with the wrong socket we went, will we? What sort have we got on there? Can't actually see it, it's so dirty. It was a 13, it's like a bit smaller than that. Bear with me. So it turned out to be a 10. For some reason I thought it was a 12 or 11, but in case of whipping these all off nicely. Be nice and careful with everything you're touching. Quite a few of them, got two on each cylinder basically. And then along the bottom, inside the manifold there, you then got some more. Looks like the nuts actually stay in the manifold. Been a long while since I took one of these apart. Thought it was good to show everyone who wants to do the same job. Just got to work out what we're taking off here so we can see what's happening. These are different sizes, okay? Doesn't make any sense, does it? The bottom ones are a different size. For some reason. They're going to be an 11, I reckon. Yep, so the bottom ones are an 11. Don't know why they put different sizes on, but they have. Should be able to get hold of these ones. Try not to lose them. Got to watch your wiring and stuff. A couple of things you might have to unplug. Obviously gaskets in between these you've got to be careful of as well. Put them to the side and you know which ones are going where. It's a pain with this in the way, but I've got no other way of doing it. Unless I cut them bolts off, which I don't really want to do right now. I haven't got the time to mess around too much because it's going to be dark before I'm finished, if not, which I definitely don't want. There's one more down here, we've got one on the end there, and we've just got to look at some wiring. A bit fiddly these ones because they're right down in the recessed area, which is a bit awkward. But we got them all. We've got one on the end there. And there isn't too much to hold this together really. Ooh. Try and remember everything, where you're putting everything as you're doing it. And we've got to do the metal pipe here, and we remember that one now. So we want to let me bring you in a bit closer. You can see what's happening there. Down on the back of the housing edge, what we get on this. Not doing too well with the sizes today. It's a bit of a pain. 7mm layer, so I'll grab one of them. Okay, so we've got ourselves a 7mm. I suppose someone could have played with the bits and pieces on it, couldn't they? Change things for different sizes. But this is the right size for this now, so just need to release it. It's like a donut-y, exhausty type clamp, which has obviously got to go back on, so be careful with it as you're taking it off. You got it, you just got to try not to damage it as you take it off. And that's a special clamp like so. And that clamps up and seals up, so stick it up on top of the battery. And pull this out of the way again. And what else have we got holding this up? Got some wiring over the back here, so we'll move that. I think that one's okay. Something's still holding this somewhere. These have to be 100% out, otherwise they don't come off like so. Right. Next thing is just remove this pipe. That was tight for one of them. Looks like it's cut into the pipe, it's on there so tight. Yeah, right, that's off. You can see where we are now. Getting to the point where we can move stuff. What's tight? A couple of little wires on the back end, and there's a. I need to show you this as the plug around this side, which is this one here. Need to take that off. Should be done, and then we should be able to lift it out of the way. That's the plan anyway. Okay, so we should start to come free. It's a bit of a pain, but ooh. Pipe under here is pulled off on this little sensor here. Make sure you put that back on. And away we go. Right, where we want it to be, which is in here. we've got to do is we've got to remove this clip here. We'll try not to damage the hosing, which is quite hard to do. You have to really get under it. I'm gonna you can actually remove the hose, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go and get the old cutter and show you how we cut it. So there's no nice way of doing this. You basically just got to get in there with that out of your way. Stay. You basically got to cut this. And you want to go through it and get rid of it without cutting the pipe if possible. Be very careful because you will catch the rubber. Don't matter so much if you catch that side of it, because there's a big lump of rubber plastic underneath there. Going for it, not quite nicely. Not that tough really. Come on. Nearly through, I'm just trying to be very careful with it. There isn't much left now. Come on. It's definitely a pain, and what we try and do when I get close like that is try and get the blade under there. I'll try and force it up normally, but this one is being a right pain today. Have to carry on cutting, I think. Normally you can get a small screwdriver under the end of it. And lift it slightly, and then once you start to lift it, where you've been cutting just starts to crack, and then you just break it off. You don't want none of this metal that's coming out to go in any of that lot over there, so just be careful what you're doing. What you'll see is that it'll start to thing in, and all you do is get a screwdriver in there, open it up, like so, both sides. It's going to be tight to the pipe because it's been there since new. Just have to force it. There you go, off it comes. That's one hell of a tough clamp, but we don't need that anymore. And wiggle this hose and lose some water. Not much we can do about that. Okay, so we've got the hose off. You want this inside here. Push it into the bit of the engine and then force the whole pipe what you do is basically force the whole pipe on, one clamp on the actual pipe to the plastic, one clamp on the thermostat. It takes some effort to do that bit, but once you've got the pipe to expand and do its thing, it pretty much goes where you want it to go. Whew. Two of these clamps. Pop that back off. One there, one there. Should be able to push it back on quite easily. Only if that goes on nicely. Bit of pain because I don't normally take it back off again and do that. I normally put the clamps on first, obviously. And get a bit of antifreeze around and it's spot on. Right. 7mm. Get your clamps. You want one to be really close up to the plastic where it's connected to the engine. Where it's just playing up. That's an old one, just pull it off and get one of your new ones on that. Don't need hassle like that, do we? Yeah, we've got one done up like that, nice and tight, and then if you feel along the pipe you'll feel the thermostat and you'll feel the nice smooth metal bit. You pretty much put the next one on like that. Yeah. Nice and tight, and your two clamps are in, and your thermostat's in there, and that's ready to work. And then the rest is basically a reverse of what we've done to take it apart. And then you should have a thermostat that's working, obviously top it up with water and stuff like that, and you should be good. So it's a bit dark now, but we're all back together. Everything's all bolted up, everything's plugged in. As far as I know. I hope everything's all in. It should be. So we can take the lid off. Next. And we want to top this up with water. Move all our tools down onto the floor. So the cap off. Down into the car. Obviously make sure it's still running and stuff like that, which it should well be. Yep, done a nice job of that, that's good. And then down to your heaters, put everything on high, both sides, turn your heaters right up. You want your heaters on full blast. And then just a case of letting it run for a little while and then watching your temperature gauge, and you want it to go halfway up the gauge. That's the plan. While that's running and warming up, get yourself a little bit of water. Just top up what you lost while doing the job. I've got a hose here, so I'll just drag a hose across. I only want a tiny bit. Top up probably kink in the hose. Say why is water not coming out? Two kinks in the hose. Really? Unbelievable sometimes what happens. That never happen ever when you're trying to film it. Run up to the top. Get it all going through. What I like to do is just get hold of the hoses. You probably hear that. There's air coming out. Just squeeze the hoses. Try and get all the air through. Keep an eye on what's happening in the bottle. Keep topping it up. don't make the mistake that I've done. I haven't put the top cover back on, and this bolt here, you don't put the cover on, squirts oil. So I've made a bit of a mess. Bit of a boo-boo myself there, wasn't it? So I'm going to put that back on. I've obviously put the bolt in there temporarily while we're bleeding the system. We just want to get the system nice and warm. Can't believe I've done that with the the oil cover bolt up the top there. So it doesn't hurt to give it sort of 2,500 revs, something like that. Try and get it a bit warmer, a bit quicker. The main thing is just to keep an eye on the water, keep it topped up. I can feel a slight bit of heat coming through. So I'll sit and rev it for a little bit. I'll bring you back once the car's warmed up a little bit. Hopefully we'll be sitting halfway on the gauge and everything will be working nicely. Okay, so the thermostat's coming onto the gauge. See it, they're starting to creep. Should rise. Work its way to halfway, sitting on sort of just over 2,500 revs. Big old engine to get warm, so take a little while to warm up, and once they get going it should start moving up. So it's moving a little bit now, so it must mean that the new one's starting to work, because before when I was running that would just sit just over the blue, wouldn't go any further. Whereas this one should take it to the top, take it to halfway up. Clear the old system, pump some water through. Certainly won't hurt. It's on to the quarter mark now. There you go, that's pretty much where your gauge should sit, just under the halfway mark. And your heaters, if you put your hand over your heaters now on the downward down towards your feet, that should burn your hand, that should be red hot. Mine's absolutely boiling. I couldn't even hardly hold my hand there, so that's sorted that out, that's done the job, and hopefully that's helped a load of you out as well. And that's another fix done. Lovely jubbly. Got a bulb out, got a headlight bulb out, I just noticed. That's a bit of a pain. But she seemed to be running really nicely, which is lovely. And temperature's really nice. Okay, so I hope I helped a fair few of you out. How to do the inline mod on the OMGs. Sorted that one out for me. Like I say, the gauge was just getting stuck just in front of the blue. It was freezing. Had no heat hardly whatsoever, just enough to clear the screen, which is a real pain. You want nice warm heaters on your journeys and stuff. So should have helped you out a little bit, and appreciate you watching. Save you a bit of money, and I'll see you soon in the next video. See you later, bye for now.